Oops. Push notification. Done. I hope it looks better than this. Is it looking bad? Okay. I'm a little worried about that one. This is fine? Okay. Oh, okay, there it goes. There it goes. I got a bit better Wi-Fi. What's up, guys? See, now I gotta have it pulled up though to be able to keep up with the chat. Otherwise, I can't keep up with the chat. I think I can pause the video and still keep up with the chat. If I pause it, will it tell me how many people we have as they come in?
Let me join you.
I gotta plug my laptop in.
Mine only says 2.
3. That was probably you.
Probably me joining.
Revelation 21, Mitch. I'm sure you got it memorized.
Worthy is the Lamb who was slain.
You would think so, but no. Close.
I tried.
Close. It's the end of the story, though. It's the end of everything.
Spoiler alert, we win.
It's the end of everything, but also the beginning of eternity.
You know, we went to go to the movies.
Yeah.
When one of the new Jesus movies came out, we're like, we're gonna go see this movie. But it was at the same time Captain America came out.
Oh, goodness.
And we ended up going to Captain America, and here's what I told Megan.
Yeah.
This sounds bad, but I said, well, we know how the Jesus movie ends. I don't know how Captain America ends.
Exactly.
I mean, are we bad Christians because of that?
I don't know. Who am I to throw stones? Who am I to throw stones, man?
He who cast the first stone. What's the video?
No, that's the cool Carl video that we have coming up.
Yeah, don't do that. Wait, is that coming up after this? Yes, do that.
After we get done, 5. Hey, Mason, how's it going, buddy? Masonite.
Why are we showing me on the screen? I look like I'm empty. I'm my partner. Thank you.
There you go, camera. Look at that. Look at that handsome fella.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Oh, don't change camera.
Don't change that
on
camera.
The program.
Oh.
Use the yellow buttons tonight, Christy.
Okay.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. My bad. I was looking at something else. You're perfect. You're beautiful. I love you.
What are we talking to? Hey, look at that. That's cool.
We got some special stuff tonight for our last Refuge Live.
You got something over your face. Is that special?
That's weird. Sorry. Here. How's that one? Is that better?
No.
That's just you.
I don't like
I'm
it
not
on
in that
me.
shot anymore.
No, you're not.
Oh, yeah, I can be in that one. No, I'll be in that one in just a minute. We got some cool stuff. Wait, we got some cool stuff coming up in just a second. Who else? If you're here, say you're here. And if you are here, you need to share and tell everybody else that this is Refuge Live, the season finale. That's how I should have promoted this. This is the season finale of Refuge Live. I'm hoping and praying that we get canceled after this season because that means that we don't have to keep doing this. We're meeting in person. So it's the one time I'm a big fan of a show and I want it to get canceled. Not right now because I'm about to be over there. It's right there where the strap goes. There you go. There you go. Yeah, hey Mason, since I know you're watching, is there a show that you watch or you used to watch that got canceled and broke your heart? Because I've got a bunch. Every good show that I love gets canceled.
Says more of the viewer than the show.
Yeah. Well, because I watch like smart TV shows. I don't like stupid stuff.
Oh.
So there's shows like, how many seasons did Jersey Shore get?
So you're an intellectual.
I like to think of myself as that. But then I guess everybody does.
There you go thinking again.
See, if I think about it too much, it hurts my head.
Are we supposed to start now? I think
It's
our time.
6:30.
I think our timer's done.
I'm hoping that we get some more folks coming in.
So we can wait.
Just to
Get some viewers.
Like, man, I can tell you one thing. People show up late to online stuff just like they show up late to everything else.
Except weddings and funerals.
People show up early for that.
Those are two things that you early for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess lunch.
But even then, I'm not early for lunch. Like, if I'm meeting somebody for lunch, I'm like right on time or I'm a little bit late.
Yeah.
I tried to work on that a while back and
Failed.
I'm better now. Of course, so living in North Georgia, if you're the type of person that's late, like when you're living in a big town and you're the type of person that's late a lot of times, like I would leave somewhere. Web family, what's up?
Go Web family.
I would know that I had to be somewhere at a certain time, and because I grew up in South Georgia, like I'd be like, oh, I got to get there in like 20 minutes. Well, it's only like 5 miles away, so that's only a 5-minute drive. Even though I knew that that's not right, like it's going to take you longer than 5 minutes to get 5 miles in a big city.
Yeah, traffic-wise.
And so I would be 15, 20 minutes late everywhere I went for the first few years of living up there. So, yeah, now 10 minutes is 10 miles. You can get across town in 10 minutes, even with traffic.
Faster than that, really.
Even with traffic in Bainbridge. I love it. So,
You're switching the camera?
I am. Why?
Keep it on you.
You don't like it?
I don't want to be on right now.
I'm going to be over there with you in just a second.
I know, but you're talking.
I came across I can't believe that I haven't been keeping up with Cool Carl. Because he's one of my favorite YouTubers.
I don't know who this person is.
Cool Carl, man. Go look him up because your kids might like him. He's very awkward. Very random. But the Sunday Cool t-shirts that we get.
Okay.
He's the guy that runs Sunday Cool. But
that's pretty cool.
He's such a personality. Like he has his own YouTube channel and they just do like random videos. Most of the time dealing with student ministry or church or something like that. I came across this one tonight and I just thought it was too funny to not show, and it fit perfectly for the end of like this whole thing for me tonight is like the end of the lockdown, the end of the quarantine.
So because of this ending, the quarantine is over, folks.
Yeah, Refuge Live is going to be done, and I'm just going to declare that this is done.
Shelter in place has been lifted. You heard it right here first.
It has been. Unless you're old. Careful. Careful. That's what I need. I need a person in here that's just holds up like a yellow light when a caution, and then a red light.
You're going to cross the line. You are going to cross
right now.
Really, we just need to put a message up there that says line.
Yeah.
Chrissy can do that.
We gotta get going. Hey,
sure.
Let's go ahead and see what Cool Carl's going to teach us. He's going to teach us something as we get started.
Cool.
And Chrissy, I'll switch your video for you if you want to.
Hi there, yellow chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. What's up? So some of you are finally coming out of lockdown, and your lives are starting to go back to normal. Huzzah. How exciting. And that means we're going to be going back to church real soon. And with church comes the old greeting time. But things have changed. We can no longer greet each other the same old way because of germs and stuff like that. And we don't want to risk going back in quarantine again. That was rough. Real rough. I'm killing you! I'm killing you! Well, have no fear. Us here at Sunday Cool have put together a couple of post-quarantine greetings. And these greetings will not only make your friends feel reunited, but they'll also make them feel safe. And safety is my number 4 priority. Don't ask me about the other 3. Okay, I'll tell you. Number 3, eat more cantaloupes, stay away from antelopes. Number 2, if you have corduroy, wear it. Number 1, if you have AA batteries, keep them in your pocket, because you'll never know when you need a AA battery. Okay, let's watch these greetings. Hey, how's it going? You doing good? You doing good?
See you.
Good to see you.
That's my favorite. They didn't touch hands.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Carl.
How are you today?
Good, you?
Good. Oh, no.
What's happening?
I think we are shutting down.
Oh, no.
I was just beginning to love.
I didn't see the Eichmann. Broken ankle.
Hey, Carl.
Hi, Andy. How's it going? Hey, Andy.
Hey, Carl.
How's it going?
Not bad. Can't complain. I could, but who'd listen?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, me either. Hey, Carl, put it there. Zah.
Sa. Yellow.
And then I said, that's not a toaster, that's my wife.
That's incredibly inappropriate.
I think so.
It's a joke.
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Carl. Chest bump?
Sure.
I stole this one from me and Chad.
You okay? Let me help you.
Yeah.
We were the first ones to ever do that.
Ever.
Hello, Andy.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Fine.
All right, good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Andy.
What are you doing?
I'm a dinosaur. Ah.
I get that, but like, why?
They ran out of mask.
So you bought a dinosaur costume instead?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
There we go. Little custom. Oh. I want that shirt.
Hi there, yellow chicken nuggets. It's me.
It looped.
Oh, it loops. Cool. Hi, little chicken nuggets. I don't understand understand chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
Hey, well, sing loud. Will you do that?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to. We haven't done music in a while,
Yeah.
and I wanted to play to our strengths. And obviously, ping pong games were not our
Not mine. It's not my strength. You
not-
guys did better than me, so it's your strength, not
They were
mine.
not our strengths. And I was like, what can we play? If we play to our strengths, what do we do? Oh, yeah, we play songs.
This is maybe one of our strengths.
Yeah. More so than ping pong.
More so yours than mine, is what I'm saying. That's what.
This is your job.
And I.
Nobody pays to hear me sing.
I would.
Not anymore.
All right. Well, yeah. No. So let's sing. That's and it gets our hearts and minds in the right place, and really just. I love it. Obviously, that's why I work for it, because I love it. Doesn't matter if I'm good at it or not. I just love it. So. Anyway.
But see, here's the thing, though. There's those people that try out for like American Idol. They really love to sing too, Mitch. But that's not reality. Like,
okay.
So you have the benefit of something. You're doing something you love and something you're good at. That's the key. Find something you love to do.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
And you're good at it.
We are not starting with this song, just so the tech person knows. We're going to start with the other
Good
song.
Grace.
Yeah.
Is the
Good
name of the
Grace.
song.
Look at that. See, she's written Johnny on the spot. Whoa.
Hello.
Yeah, it is. Should I go fix that?
Is it showing like that on the live stream?
Oh, probably not. Okay, we're okay.
Okay, as long as it's good there.
Yeah. Everybody's just like, what? I see words. And we're
Sorry,
like,
what
whoa.
we're seeing here is different than what they're seeing out there.
All right, sorry. So we're getting our hearts and our minds in the right place. That's what we're doing. Not getting distracted. And just, getting ready for the teaching and praising the God who is good, right? So, people come together, strangers, neighbors, our blood is one. Children of generations, of every nation, of kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high and fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where help comes from. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in His blood. Jesus, light of heaven, friend forever, His kingdom come. So don't let your heart be trouble. Hold your head up high and fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where help comes from. Let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Swing wide, all you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. All creation, everything with breath, repeat the sound. All His children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. Our salvation is in His blood. Oh, we sing, Jesus, light of heaven, friend forever, His kingdom come. no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't hurt it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
The only thing that could make that better would be being able to sing that together.
Oh man,
Being
yeah,
able to
when you hear people singing.
hear people sing, but soon enough. But we're gonna make a very quick and awkward transition over.
The way you said that was kind of awkward. Is it?
There was like 4 words in my brain, and none of them came out right. Oh man, I'm tired, man. I am tired. Hey, there we go. And look at there. Chrissy found a way to make it not so awkward. Yay, Chrissy. Love you. So yeah, tonight we're gonna finish up. We're finishing up our series on Overflow, called Overflow. And as I'm pulling this up, teaching God. There we go. Week 3.
Overflow.
Where's week 3?
You don't have an overflow of energy, is what I'm hearing.
No, and man, I'm like all hyped up on Kickstart and everything, and it's still just not going. What in the world? Oh, there it is. Whew. We almost couldn't find the notes. That would have been really, really good, right?
You're so overflowed
Yeah.
that you don't need notes.
I don't need. Yeah, I do. I wish I didn't, but I do. But so we're finishing up this Overflow series, and tonight we're going to actually be when you go to your small group, that you'll actually be talking about Revelation. So we're skipping to the end, and I thought it was really fitting, just the way God works out things like that. That we're talking about the very end of the story of history, which is in Revelation, which of course hasn't happened yet. We're talking about the very end as we're coming to an end of this season of being apart and not being able to meet together. But just so you know, and you can hear it directly from me, is the plan for moving forward, because I keep saying this is the last Refuge Live, and you might be wondering, well, why is this the last Refuge Live? So we're going to do tonight, and we're gonna have a great time, and then we're gonna take next week off. Just everybody chill. If you've got something that's going on next Wednesday, and you just want to hang out with me, just let me know. But other than that, we're just gonna.
Can I hang out with you?
You can hang out with me
Okay.
anytime, Mitch.
Just
anytime.
asking.
But so we're just gonna take some time off and regroup and get ourselves ready, because on May 20th. I got it approved by all the people that needed to approve that we can start meeting back in person for Refuge starting May 20th. And if I looked at the calendar, and May 20th actually was going to be our end of school big blowout birthday, or not birthday, but a party.
We're lumping all the birthdays in it, too.
It's not lumping all the birthdays.
Just lump the birthdays. It's fine.
If you've had a birthday since January, or you'll have a birthday in December, until December, we're going to celebrate all the birthdays.
So I'm included.
Yes, everyone's included. We don't leave anybody out. But I will shout out to my son, Grayson. His birthday's tomorrow.
Hey.
So he is extremely excited about the fact that his birthday is May 7th, and he's turning 7.
Ooh, it's his golden birthday.
Huh?
It's his golden birthday.
Golden birthday? I'd never heard of this. He keeps going on and on and on about, like, this is like a special birthday.
Post in the comments if you've heard of golden birthday. You tell us right now.
I want to know. Golden birthday?
We have got to know if you know of golden birthday.
Special birthday? I've never heard of this. Connor, hey guys, there's more people. Connor and the Webbs and all that good stuff. I guess it was never a thing. If you're born on April 2nd, then this is not really a thing for you.
No, yeah. It's if you're 2, it's your golden birthday.
I know, but no one remembers their second birthday.
Well, no, but it's...
So what good is it? I was like,
there's 2 people.
That's why.
These people say never. What is the... You guys don't know what a golden birthday is. I can't believe this.
See? What's bad, though, is if this trend continues, Kaylin's birthday is June 21st, and that could be a recipe for disaster.
It's going to be a great golden birthday because you're going to celebrate it with her.
Yeah, I'll celebrate with you.
So my birthday's March 1st.
And we'll just eat cake.
So I don't remember my golden birthday, obviously, but it's still a big deal.
See, but like if you got gypped out of your golden birthday, shouldn't you get a redo or something?
No, it's not. No.
All right. When I turn 200, that's going to be my golden birthday.
You're there. I don't understand. But moving on.
I'm purposely not getting how golden birthdays. That's what the fun is for me. I don't know where we got off on that, but we're way off. Overflow, Mitch.
Well, you were explaining Refuge. That we were celebrating
Refuge.
birthdays.
We're celebrating everything.
Yes, everything's
May
celebration.
20th, we're celebrating everything.
There you go.
This Saturday, my family's getting together. We're celebrating tons of birthdays, Mother's Day, graduation, everything that we've missed. We're just going to get together as a family and celebrate it. But yeah, May 20th. So what we'll do is we'll actually do all of the hangouts time and everything. Beforehand, we'll do that outside. Hopefully, it's not too hot and it's not raining or anything like that. Obviously, we'll change our plan if it's raining, but we'll do all the hangout stuff and play some ultimate frisbee, fellas, on May 20th. So get word out, and then we'll come in. We won't be able to go back into the youth house because the youth house is pretty small, and if you get more than 10 people in there, you're kind of not going to be able to social distance in the youth house. The youth house is just not set up for social distancing, Mitch. It's not. No matter how I tried to work it out, I was just like, no, you just can't.
No home is meant for social distancing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've been in some pretty big houses.
Okay.
I could definitely.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah, no reasonably sized house that our church owns, or either of us own.
I will never own a social.
I will never own a social distancing house.
Approved house. That's
yeah,
why
exactly.
I will never.
Well, especially not with your 50,000 kids. But yeah, so we can't social distance in the youth house, and so we're taking over the gym on Wednesday nights, and so we'll be able to have our Refuge live. I'm still going back and forth as to whether or not we want to keep doing cameras and all that stuff, because there might be some
if people are going to stay home.
Yeah, there might be some people.
If people are going to stay home, they want to watch still.
So I think we should. I think we could do some fun stuff, but we'll at least have a studio audience.
Yeah,
of everybody.
Live studio.
So I want as many people here as we can get, up to 50.
I'm not making any promises that I'll be here. Just so you know.
Yeah, Mitch may make a special appearance. We'll figure that out. So, but yeah, that's what's happening May 20th. So get word out May 20th, and then June 1st. The other big thing that's happening, June 1st through the 5th, prayerfully and hopefully. Florida will be on board with Phase 2 by then, and we'll be able to do a 50-person camp known as Experience Camp on June 1st through the 5th. I've gotten a lot of people. We've got, I think, around 13 to 15 people that are going just from our church, and then there's other churches involved in that. So we're getting close to having an almost full camp of 50, and then once we throw in, all the adults that you have to have. You got to, mainly the cafeteria work, like the people who are cooking, like we have a cooking team that was fantastic. There was not camp food. Man, we ate good. I had one of the best hamburgers of my life at camp, if you can believe that.
Did it have peanut butter on it?
It did not.
You haven't had your best hamburger until you put peanut butter on it.
Peanut butter on a hamburger.
I'm not kidding.
All right, so far, let's recap. Mitch is advocating for golden birthdays and peanut butter on hamburgers.
Listen, I had it last night and today before I came here.
I've never felt so far away from you.
You put peanut butter, cheese, pickle, hamburger is one of the best hamburgers.
No.
And tomato even. You put tomato on there, too.
It's hamburger, a fried egg, bacon.
You could even do a fried egg, bacon, and peanut butter. That would also work. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. That would work.
You're killing me, man.
Now do it. I'm telling you, try it.
You know what would happen if I
Someone said yes, right here, right there. Mason, right there. He said it.
Mason, I'm just gonna make Mason put toothpaste on everything. I'm still bitter.
Be fresh.
So, you know what would happen if I ate a peanut butter hamburger?
Please tell me there's a joke coming.
There would be an overflow.
Yes.
From my mouth. Yes. Speaking of overflow, have I got a lesson for you? Mitch, I gave you plenty of time. Did you notice how I did that? I gave you plenty of time. Yeah, Web Family says barfalicious.
They did? I don't even see that comment yet, but cool.
All right. So
I'm going to bring one over to you're my neighbor.
Couple weeks ago, we started this Overflow series,
yes,
and I meant to bring a bucket. Every week, I've meant to bring like a bucket to use as a good visual illustration.
But you've had me, and I'm a bucket head. So.
Yeah. So see, if we were really good, Mitch, I could like do this, and we would have like a graphic of a bucket that would show up in my hands, but we don't have the budget for that. But we've been talking about this idea of a bucket. Your heart, your life is like a bucket, and there are three types of buckets. One is filled with dirt, which we kind of categorize that as sin and all the junk that we put into our lives with what we watch and what we say and how we act and all those things is kind of the dirt that clogs up the bucket and fills up the bucket, so God can't really. There's not as much room. And then we talked last week about having holes in our bucket, which we talked about the woman at the well and how she was coming to Jesus with just a broken life and messed up life, and how Jesus had to heal her of those things and offer her the forgiveness that only can come from him in order for her bucket to be whole enough to be able to be filled. And so tonight, what we're going to look at is kind of venturing off of the original illustration, I guess you could say, of a bucket to, and I kind of labeled this from a bucket to a pipe. And as we get into this, I'll explain a little bit more of that. But one of the myths that we have of this idea of overflow that you hear sometimes in the church, and Mitch, you can tell me if you've ever heard this idea of, I don't have notes. So I am setting the stage, but I didn't put notes in for tonight, in case she kept going. But this idea of overflow is, I've heard this, and tell me if you've heard this, like you should serve God out of the overflow of your heart.
I've heard the phrase.
You've heard that phrase?
Yeah.
Would you say, just like a knee-jerk reaction, without really thinking too much about it, would you agree or disagree with the statement?
I disagree.
Why?
Because no matter how you feel. Because to me, that indicates a feeling, right? If you have an overflow of the heart, you're so overflowing with joy, right? And so then I'm going to serve God because I'm joyful. But then if you're not, then you don't. You hole in. You don't do it. You kind of wait till I get a filling from the Lord, and then I'll serve.
Yeah, and that's kind of where that was where I landed on when I started thinking about that concept. And I don't want to harp on it too much, but I did want to address it because it is kind of a common phrase, I guess, that you hear a lot of times around church. Oh, you should serve God out of the overflow of your heart. And I get the meaning behind that. The meaning behind that is you have to have a connection with God in order to help others have a connection with God.
And that's ideal, right?
That's ideal. But and it goes back to that idea of like you can't lead somebody somewhere that you're not there yet, you know?
Yeah.
And so I get somewhat of the meaning behind that, but I did want to kind of clarify that doesn't mean, oh, I can't serve God right now because I haven't been a Christian very long, or I can't serve God because I don't have all the answers, or I can't serve God because I have sin in my life that I'm struggling with like on a regular basis. And I've heard all three of those. I've had conversations, and I've felt that way sometimes even myself, where all three of those things kind of come into play, and you think, well, God can't use me until I'm a fully clean, completely whole, and overflowing bucket. You know, like all these things have to line up just right for God to be able to use me. And I'm like, that's not exactly how God's economy works. Like God's economy, in order to bring him the most glory, he needs to be able to use the broken bucket, the dirty bucket, and the bucket. But at the same time, it's got to be the bucket that's going to him in order to be filled. I think that's the only criteria is, am I going to God to fill my bucket? If so, then it doesn't matter if that thing is overflowing. It doesn't matter. It would be great if it's clean, but if there's dirt in there, that doesn't automatically disqualify us because of what Jesus has done. So
that's right.
So I just wanted to kind of clear up that negative perception that I've got to be like, you know, some sort of super Christian in order to be used by God. So kind of going along with this idea of a bucket to a pipe, the only difference between a bucket and a pipe is very, very simple. A bucket has a bottom, and a pipe does not. Like if you cut the bottom out of a bucket, what do you have a big pipe.
You have a pipe.
Right? Yeah, I feel like if you've ever seen done anything where you, for some reason, I get bored at, water parks and things like that, and I, pay attention to you see all the pipes and stuff that are carrying the water, and I just find that to be extremely fascinating, is the fact that, and I'll kind of circle back around to this, the fact that, I love water parks. I am also terrified of water slides. I can force myself to do them, because I don't want to be that guy that's too scared to ride to go on a water slide. I'm like, it's a water slide, you know. But at the same time, I'm terrified of them. But if you ever go to a water park, no one celebrates the pipes. Have you ever thought about that? Nobody talks about the pipes that are used at a water park. But without the pipes, there is no water park. Without the pipes, you just have a swamp, right? It's just water that's just going to be, it's just there, you know? And so thinking about that in our spiritual life, going from a bucket to a pipe is this idea that, God, I want you to take the bottom out, and I want to plunge myself completely into my relationship with you so that your love, your grace, your characteristics don't just fill up my bucket, but flow through me. A pipe is used to move water from one place to another. And so looking at my life going, okay, God, where do you want me to place my life so that all of these things that you're filling me with, continuously filling me with, are being directed where you want them to go? And I don't know, it just kind of reframed the whole conversation for me.
That's good. I like that.
But And really, all that is just an illustration. It's an expanded illustration of the word that I use a lot. That is the big Bible word of sanctification, right? I mean, and so I redefine sanctification as transforming our lives from a dirty bucket full of holes to a pipe of God's grace and love. So you're transforming from a dirty bucket full of holes to a pipe full of grace, to a pipe of God's grace and love. I can't get it right, but it's there. So I want to read John chapter 7. I kind of added this verse at the last minute to kind of go along with this idea, because Jesus actually talks a little bit about this in John chapter 7. And to give you a little bit of context on where we're at in the scripture is basically Jesus is at a festival where one of the Jewish celebrations, and it says on the last and greatest day of the festival. So this is the end, right? This is the last day of this, which I was like, this is so fitting that all of this is happening at the end of all of the Refuge Life stuff. But on the last and greatest day of the festival, Jesus stood and he said in a loud voice, "Let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as Scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow from within them." By this he meant the Spirit, whom those who believed in him were later to receive. Up to that time, the Spirit had not been given, since Jesus had not yet been glorified. And there is an absolute ocean's worth of stuff, to keep with our water analogy, ocean's worth of stuff and ocean's worth of depth in that small little passage there that Jesus, where Jesus is explaining what this concept means for the life of a Christian. It says, let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as Scripture said, rivers of living water will flow from within them. And that's where that idea of a pipe hit me, was if I'm going to glorify God to the fullest with my life, then it has to come from God, and it has to be diverted to the people around me.
Yeah, and it's flow through me, right?
Yeah.
Or flow through them.
Yeah.
Which means you don't have the water.
No.
And it doesn't matter what the inside, right? The bucket, dirty, holy, it's going through anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and too, that kind of goes that goes back to that idea of like, even if I'm the greatest pipe of God's grace and God's love, nobody celebrates the pipe.
Yeah.
It's the ride that people go crazy, and that's the presence of God, the glory of God is what we're trying to divert people's attention to, not us. We're just the pipes. So, switching gears, we're gonna switch over to Revelation 21 because as great as it is to understand this concept of what it means to live in the here and now and to be this pipe, to make my life this pipe of God's love and God's grace, I think it's really important for us at times like this, which I don't know about you, but just about everybody I've talked to, Mitch, is like, we're just tired. Like everybody just seems to be like in a fog, and they're tired, and we're just ready for things to be back to normal,
Give us a thumbs up if you're tired. Right there, like just
yeah, for real.
If you're with us.
Yeah, you're not going to school 8 hours a day. You're probably not working. If you have a job, you're probably not working. But yet everybody is still like more tired.
More tired. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, and it's just a bizarre thing, and that's why when I came to Revelation 21 tonight, looking at the very end of this is the end of everything as we know it. And the beginning of the eternal reign of God in a new heaven and a new earth. And I don't want to get too bogged down in the weeds of like all the stuff in Revelation that just blows my mind, right? Like there's so many things in there that I don't understand.
Sneezes don't count.
Sneezes don't count. But there's so much stuff in Revelation that we don't understand that most of the time when I read a passage out of Revelation or I read Revelation, I try to focus on the things that I do understand because there's so much in there that no one understands completely, right? What is literal, what is figurative, what is this, the timeline, all of these things, none of this stuff can anybody really settle on. But when you read something like Revelation 21, and I'm gonna read it just very quickly, but I want you. Hopefully, you'll read it too in your small groups in just a second too, so you can kind of talk about it some more. But this is the end of it all. This is the hope that we have of the future. Not just that this life is going to turn out right, but eventually God rights all the wrongs. And this is what it says about this time. He says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away.' He who was seated on the throne said, 'I am making everything new.' Then he said, 'Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true.' He said to me, 'It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit all of this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children." Absolutely incredible. That at the end of it all, it's I'm making all things new. What stands out to you in that passage?
Just as you were first reading it, he will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There'll be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. That's
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
Right? Like
just wipe the slate.
Clean.
And we're starting over, but this time with perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved just now as I was reading this in verse 4, it says the old order of things has passed away. And that idea of whatever systems are in place here on this earth, all the brokenness, all the injustice, all the things that we look at as Christians and go, that's not right. You know, we've talked a lot about suffering and pain and all of these things and war and all
pandemics.
Pandemics, conflict, whether that's between countries or between families. I mean, it doesn't matter. Everywhere you look, there are things that you go, this is not right, and this should not be the way that things go. And then you read this in Scripture and you go, oh, all of those things are going away. Like there's going to be an end to all of that, and then the new comes in. And it got me kind of thinking to put it, I guess, in a little bit more concrete terms is kind of like, and I'm sure you've had this happen, like you have a car and you just run that car and something breaks and you fix it and something breaks again and you fix it, and you're putting all this time and this effort and the energy and money into fixing this car, but eventually what happens? Like eventually something breaks and you go, this is beyond repair.
You sell it for $50.
Yeah,
scrap.
exactly. You put it out in the front yard and you just want it gone.
Yeah.
Because you have to start something new. You have to get something new, something that is not going to do all these things. And of course we know eventually it does. But here, what we're seeing here is God saying, you know what? We're done. This is over. The sun is set. And we're starting new and we're starting fresh, and I love that it says it twice in here that God will be among His people, that I will be their God, they will be my children, and it's exactly what you see in the book in Genesis. You go back to the very beginning, and you see like this is why God created, right? Was so that He could be one with us, we could be one with Him, and now He's saying, you know what? After all of a sudden done, I can't. I've fixed and I've repaired and I've tried to keep everything running, and humans have just destroyed it every step of the way, right? And God finally steps in and He goes, you know what? I'm just going to end it. We're going to end it. We're going to start over, and it's going to be this. It's going to be amazing. And so just some really, really cool stuff there. Those who are victorious will inherit all this. And I will be their God, and they will be my children. And that's the hope. That's the hope that you can have. If you're in Christ, that's the hope that you can have, that no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation that you find yourself in, is that the end of the story has already been written. Like, it's right there on the page.
We know the end of the story.
Yeah, we know the end of the story. Spoiler alert. We know what's coming and what's going to happen. But in the meantime, that's kind of where we live. That's where sanctification is in the meantime. What do we do? And that takes us right back into, are you going to be this nasty, dirty bucket that gets filled up and poured out and filled up and poured out? Or do you just say, God, I just want to be all in with you and knock the bottom of the bucket out, and let's really do this thing and turn me into the pipe that you designed me to be, not so that I get glory, but so that you get glory. So,
and that's where true joy comes from, right?
Yeah.
Even in the midst of these things, that's where because your hope rests in the end, right? Your hope rests in what's coming and the process that's happening, and you can have that joy and share it with others.
Well, small group leaders, I'm sorry, we didn't give you anything to talk about tonight.
Yeah, no, you might as well just
There's nothing here to talk about. Brennan, I'm sure you're at a loss completely for what to talk about with your small groups. But we're going to go ahead and start that here in just a second. But Mitch, will you pray us out?
Yeah,
Refuge
man.
Live for
the last one. This will be the
one.
last live prayer on Refuge Live. But go ahead and pray with me. Father, I thank you so much for just leading us to this place so far. God, we know that you are in control, and you've been with us this entire time. And God, I pray that this discussion that happens tonight with these students that you would just lead and direct these leaders, and that you would speak through your word. God, give us clear direction, give us your hope, so that we can walk from this place in new light, in a new relationship with you, and that relationship that these students have. I pray, though, that if anybody does not know you personally, God, that they would place their trust in you, because that's the only way we have this hope at the end of the story, when every tear and all the pain will be gone. And so, God, I pray that those who don't know you would trust in you, and that those who do know you would share that hope with others, so that they have hope and they have life. Give us great discussion tonight, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. There we go.
I'm sending out the Zoom information right now.
As we speak.
Let me make sure I do it the right way. There we go. There we go. Get some of that Reed McCall music cranking. Got to hang out with Reed the other day. That was great.
I'm looking at the comments, that's all. He's playing on his phone.
Oh, somebody, like, why is he looking at his phone?
No, well, she put me on the camera. I'm not going to say who that is, but put me on. Oh, yeah, Mitch is doing something interesting.
All right, guys, here we go. Should be getting your Zoom notification.
I got it.
You got it.
All right, I'm going to go stop the stream.
I'm switching over to Zoom.
That was a really close shot of me.
Oh, no. We don't need that.
We always need that.
We don't need that.